growing global health problem that poses major challenges, most especially in developing countries. Find out how this international distributor of innovative health products came up with a series of solutions to help increase a patient's chance to survive the odds. In 2020, the Philippines hit a record of 354,398 prevalent cancer cases within a 5-year period. But because of poor access to health care, especially for people living below the poverty line, the advances and breakthroughs in cancer remain unattainable to many.
Cancer refers to a group of diseases that's characterized actually by cell growth, abnormal cell growth and proliferation, inflammation, as well as angiogenesis or formation of new blood vessels. It always starts with mutation in the genome or the genetic makeup of a person inside the cell. Before PPARs, most of my patients, they were unable to finish the chemotherapy regimens because of the side effects and because of discomfort during the process of chemotherapy.
Maria's son Dominic was diagnosed with stage 4 rhabdomyosarcoma when he was only 4 years old. While coping with the recovery of her other sick child, Maria found it hard to accept Dominic's condition.
It was actually very devastating kasi with Dominic, it was manifested mga 4 years old na siya. Unlike dun sa daughter ko na congenital talaga, baby pa lang. Yung mga bandang September, meron ng umumbok-umbok dito sa leeg niya. Hindi ko talagang inisip na cancer kaagad siya until nag-nosebleed siya.
Dominic was prescribed chemotherapy, but his family insisted to rush to an integrative doctor to seek for alternative cure.
Medyo hesitant ako kasi as a mother, I know the side effects ng chemotherapy kasi. So what I did is that I rushed towards the integrative doctor of my daughter, who happened to be PPAR partner doctor of Simply Nature.
One of the hardest decisions to make for people living with cancer is choosing the kind of treatment that would work best. To help patients and their families deal with this growing health problem, one company commits to producing safe, credible, and natural health solutions by drawing on the latest bioscience technology to deliver a series of safe, efficient, and natural products. What is Simply Nature and what does it do?
Simply Nature is a company we created and founded about 10 years ago. Our mission is to find effective health solutions for people. So we provide natural products that work in combination with conventional therapy and medicine.
As an international company that provides natural solutions for cancer, metabolic syndrome, and degenerative diseases, the management upholds a health philosophy that centers on whole food nutrition as the frontier in health management.
When we talk about choosing treatment, especially in the area of cancer, patients are really afraid of chemotherapy because of its side effects, and they tend to then look towards natural products. But this is not either conventional or natural choice. At Simply Nature, patients can have the best of both worlds. Our protocols work with conventional chemotherapy to minimize its side effects so that they can get the best treatment using both conventional and natural together.
Cancer is like a virus. It continuously evolves, it mutates. So it can develop defenses against our usual treatment modalities like chemotherapy.
Like I said, chemotherapy and radiation therapy have a lot of side effects. So more often than not, patients stop their treatment because of these side effects. It's very important to have the support.
With the supplements that we give the patients, there will be lesser side effects, so they will be able to finish their chemotherapy protocols more comfortably.
This company introduced PPARs, which is touted as one of the best natural ways of solving serious health problems.
PPARs stands for peroxisome proliferator activating receptors. It's basically a nuclear receptor found inside the cells. Now, when these receptors are activated, the benefit that you can get from that is, number 1, cellular differentiation. Number 2, it's to promote fatty acid metabolism. If you have better insulin function, your blood sugar will naturally go down. And another one is to induce cancer cell death by modulating the immune system.
As a sole distributor of PPARs, the company promotes its use to many reputable health institutions worldwide and actively organizes corporate health conferences and public health talks in Asia.
Simply Nature PPARs is made out of a special strain of these types of microalgae. It is very effective by protecting the bone marrow. We maintain the integrity of the immune system of the patient, which is very important to prevent infections and to fight off the cancer itself. And also, Simply Nature PPARs is also very dense in nutrients so that the patient can recover faster because of better cellular healing.
Sabi ko parang na-lead kami to an extraordinary and I must say amazing journey. I'm very proud of him. At a young age, na 8 years old, he believed that it's his purpose to siguro encourage other people then. We would like to really pay it forward with the knowledge that there's really like Simply Nature that can help people with cancer very much.
When fighting cancer, living healthy is very important because it allows us to pursue what is important to us in life, and that's what it's all about. When we can help a patient move from being bedridden to getting up, to be lucid in thought so that they can have conversations with their loved ones, it gives the whole process of fighting cancer a whole new meaning. And that is what drives us at Simply Nature.
Cancer is a
Important to us.
But I really wanted to share yung poem from Chadao. So 100 years from now, it will not matter what my bank account was, the sort of house I live in, or the kind of car I drove, but the world made the difference because I was important in the life of a child.
Good morning, everyone. We are from Simply Nature, and that is Tito Shen, and I'm Tita Jesslyn.
And then you put it on your chest, say, Jesus loves me.
Jesus loves me.
for our gratitude, Mr. Sean.
Ba? Ba? Ha? Ito na ba ang mga sundalo ng Israelita? Maliit man ako sa iyong paningin. Malaki ang aking Diyos. Tutulungan ako ng aking Diyos at lalabanan kita at tatalunin kita.
Nayanig ang paligid sa pagbagsak ng gulayan. Si Mother Ricky, pasalamatan naman natin si Mother Ricky at palakpakan din natin siya kahit siya ay nasa ibang lugar ngayon.
Paano kayo di gagaling, di ba?
Pinupurit, sinasamba kita.
And Lord, we believe you for testimony from every child in this place. In Jesus' name we pray. And all God's people say, Amen! Hallelujah!
Nung 2022 po, yung parang inipon ko talagang pera pambili nung Simply Nature, nung vials, na PPARs. Yun po yung iniinom ko.
Cancer lang siya, strong tayo. Kaya patuloy lang po tayong lumaban kasi may Panginoon tayong gumagabay sa atin lagi. Yun lang.
And on behalf of the Simply Nature team, God bless you all. Maraming salamat for blessing us this day. We hope that we have made you all happy. God bless you once again. Here in Simply Nature, we are always with you from start to healing. Thank you, everybody.
CA markers. Mataas siya. Then, nung after 3 months, nung pag-take ko ng Simply Nature, doon, naging normal na siya until now. Kahit si Dr. Johan na gulat siya kasi biglang normal agad in just 3 months, nag-normal agad yung CEA ko. 1 year and 5 months. Cancer-free. Dapat may food supplements kayo. Like Simply Nature na proven and tested ko na. Talagang hindi ako pwedeng mawala ng Simply Nature na yan.
2019, I was being diagnosed a cancer of my uterus. So I was shocked. Sabi ko, bakit nagkaroon ako ng ganito? Samantalang hindi ako mahilig sa pagkain. I'm sorry, basura. Started the tablet and then the powder. Tinry ko din yung yung tawag dito.
Gel?
Yeah, yung gel. Yes.
Yeah.
It's really good. After 2 months ng aking therapy and taking PPARs, sabi ni doktora, magpa-laboratory ka na. So, nung nagpa-laboratory na ako, praise God, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, lahat normal. To God be the glory. Salamat sa Diyos. Sa 2 months ko po ng aking pag-take ng PPARs, ako po ay cancer-free.
everybody, welcome to another episode of Simply Healed, together again with Dr. Jansen Calalan.
Hello Shan, hello everyone, happy to be here again.
Today is a very commonly requested program. We're going to tackle these two common topics. One is CKD, that stands for chronic kidney diseases. Very popular question because here in Philippines and Southeast Asia, we like to drink. We like to drink alcohol. So definitely that affects kidney. And then there is actually, Doc, I just came back from Singapore after the pandemic lockdown. This year I've been traveling home a lot. There is a huge increase in people talking about CKD, chronic kidney diseases. And there seems to be a huge uptick of concern about chronic kidney diseases. What are the statistics, Doc? Is this thing that I observe, is it just the people around me, or is it really a trend in medical statistics?
It's actually a trend already, and throughout the decades, we get to see more and more people who get diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. And not only that, not just more and more people, it's actually included in the top 10 causes of death around the world, not just in Singapore, not just in the Philippines, and not just in developed countries. It spans all. So from the low income, middle income, this is an ongoing trend. Even in the higher income countries, it's an ongoing trend.
So we confirm right now, straight from Dr. Jansen, that it's not just something I observed in my travels, but it's really a medical statistics all over the world. Now, Doc, this is extremely important and alarming because for our audience to know something unique about our kidney. Our kidney, once destroyed, cannot be regenerated.
True.
So kidney disease, something you should be all very concerned of. And this is especially important because most of our viewers, a good portion of this program's viewers are ladies. And ladies, you are more susceptible to chronic kidney disease than men are. It's the ladies, elderly, and people with diabetes and metabolic syndromes. So, Doc, how bad is it going to be over the next few years for CKD?
Now, for the next few years, up until 2040, they're actually predicting that CKD would be ranked 5th for the global causes of death. So humans dying from CKD would be ranked 5th.
5th? Oh, that's really high. And even currently now, it's approximately 1 in 10 people have CKD, on track of CKD. Doc, just for a quick glimpse, chronic kidney disease is actually like cancer. It has staging, like stage 1 to 5. How would you say most people will find out that they have a CKD problem at which stage?
Usually it's already in around stage 3.
Stage 3. Now, what's the survival rate of a stage 3? Is it a momentum that you can't reverse? That means if you're stage 3, you are going to go into stage 4 and stage 5, and of course that leads to mortality.
Well, I haven't found the exact statistic, the exact number, but in general, this is how it goes. The earlier your CKD, so for earlier stages like CKD stage 1, 2, and 3, those stages, your kidneys can still improve. Your kidney function can still improve. Not really reverse the damage, but your kidneys function can be more efficient in filtering your blood.
So in other words, you can return to a normal life without going into, say, dialysis.
Yes, probably a little medication, but not too much.
So it's something that can be managed and sort of repaired.
Yes.
Right.
So, but when you go,
stage 4.
when you reach stage 4, stage 5, then that would be
the slippery slope.
That would be the slippery slope. That's the point of no return.
You really get worse and worse and worse.
Not necessarily.
If you can halt it, like stay stagnant, that would be ideal.
That's the goal.
That's
to
the goal.
halt it.
But you can't you can't reverse because the kidney is damaged already.
It's damaged, yes.
And as what we said, once your kidney cells, if they're destroyed, let's say you have 1 million kidney cells, if 200,000 are destroyed, these 200,000 will not regrow again. The best that you can do is just preserve the remaining 800,000 kidney cells. You can't increase it anymore.
Yeah. So usually what happens to some of my patients, this is my experience already, my patients would now when I see the patients, they're already at stage 5 chronic kidney disease, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5,
Tough.
one of those stages. So it's really very tough. But one thing that that's really good when
But I know you say it's tough, but I've heard you smile, and I heard from your healthcare specialist when I meet her, she tells me that your patients actually she used the word recovered, so I don't know what she actually meant. So maybe you can take the opportunity to elaborate here.
Based on what we've done, based on their experience, and based on what we've observed, no, they can actually prolong the point where they need to start dialysis already.
So that they can delay the onset of dialysis.
Yes. Personally, I have one patient where we prolonged the initiation of dialysis for 1 year.
Wow.
More than a year, I think.
More than a year.
Yes, so which is really very...
Is the patient now on dialysis?
Yes, the patient is already on dialysis now.
But you delayed it for one and a half year.
And during the span of 1 year, right, the patient have good quality of life. Even now, I mean, the patient is undergoing dialysis. So you might think that this patient is already very fatigued, very sick. No, this patient actually walks in and out of the dialysis center, not wheelchair bound, literally walk, no? So in terms of quality of life, it's still good.
Yeah, and in fact, when I just came back from Taiwan as well, and we were talking to our factory in Taiwan, a farm where we grow our PIPA protocols, and they were sharing one of the long-term clients has been in dialysis for 15 years, and he looks absolutely normal. In fact, it looks healthier than a lot of people his age, but he's a patient that actually goes in for dialysis every week. And he's been doing well on the PIPA protocol together with dialysis for the last 15 years. So that's hope. Doc, since we touched about dialysis, I remember I was very shocked when I first had my first conversation with you about dialysis. And you shared with me that when a patient undergoes dialysis, his lifespan is shortened.
Yes, that's true.
So Doc, what is the life expectancy of a patient who starts dialysis?
It's actually 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, see my reaction? That's exactly how I felt. And since we deal in cancer, my first thought is, oh my God, it's like getting cancer. Because cancer, you try to pass the 5-year mark for dialysis. If you start dialysis, your life expectancy is only 5 to 10 years. Wow, that's very similar.
Correct. Actually, personally, if I were to choose which disease I would get, I'd rather get cancer than chronic kidney disease and be on dialysis.
Why?
Because for patients who are on dialysis, right, life expectancy is 5 to 10 years. So let's assume that it's 10 years, right? So when you start dialysis, then it's 10 years. Some patients can live more, but those are outliers. But
so on average,
yes, this is on average, the life expectancy once you start dialysis. For cancer patients, they can live for the next 20, 30 years as long as you do it, as long as you do the correct lifestyle, go for the correct treatment, you finish your treatment, you can live for a very long time. I mean, I've seen way more cancer patients who have lived
a quality life
more than 10 years already after diagnosis versus chronic kidney disease patients who are on dialysis.
I really did not know this, and I think many of our viewers today are pretty shocked by this too, right? I mean, in Singapore, and we have many viewers in Singapore and Malaysia, and our program, hi Lily. Yeah, we always, every year we have this National Kidney Day Foundation where they have shows and charity drives to raise money for dialysis centers. I always thought that dialysis patients basically have to spend the rest of their life going to dialysis centers. I didn't know that the rest of their life was only 5 to 10 years. That is extremely shocking, and I hope that makes everybody realize how serious CKD is. Now, the good news is that Dr. Jansen has had cases of success stories where his patients are able to push back the dialysis. So every year that you push back dialysis is another year added to your life, right? Personally, on my side, I've met numerous doctors as well whose patients have completely avoided dialysis. They were on the verge of dialysis and they've avoided. So far, so good. It's been like 3 years for this particular patient. So there is hope, But I think at the conclusion of the program, Dr. Jansen is going to say some very important statements about CKD and kidney cancer. So let's move on. Does CKD lead to kidney cancer?
Yes, especially when you start dialysis, there's a higher risk of developing kidney cancer.
So this is really like a slippery slope. Once you start on this disease, if you don't stop it, it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yes, correct. And not only that, not just this causative relationship, but also the risk factors for developing CKD is also the same risk factors for developing cancer. Not just kidney cancer, but also other cancers as well.
Yeah, and I can see, let's review these very common causes. One is obesity. That obesity increases your risk of getting cancer. And that's just pure facts. So I know you are body positive. Let's be cancer positive as well. Slim down so that you lower your risk of getting cancer. So it's not about the beauty thing. It's really about your health. So obesity is not a good thing when we focus on your health about getting cancer. Cigarette smoking, alcohol, physical exercise. Watch our last program last week. We talked about exercise and cancer. And this one is interesting. High blood pressure. High blood pressure actually raises your chances of developing CKD and kidney cancer. Why is that, Doc?
Well, if you have high blood pressure, your kidneys can get damaged. Now, if your kidneys get damaged, it will try to repair itself, although it's very difficult, but it can increase the chances of the kidney DNA getting damaged. Now, when the DNA gets damaged, it will try to repair itself, but when the repair mechanisms get mutated,
or
overworked, errors in the repair can occur. This is where cancer starts. Okay, especially when unregulated cell growth is promoted.
So basically, you don't want to be damaging your skin over and over, your kidney over and over again, because every time it does repair work, there might be some errors, and the errors might add up, and that will result in kidney cancer development. Now, Doc, we know CKD is quite life-threatening. As you mentioned, if you go into dialysis, your life expectancy is 5 to 10 years. And you said you'd rather get cancer than CKD. If a patient had a choice, choosing kidney cancer is better than having CKD and kidney cancer, of course. So what is the survival rate for kidney cancer?
Now, so for any other cancers, if you detect this early, the survival rate is very high. But if it's already late in stage, especially in stage 3, stage 4, then the survival rate is really quite low.
So let's take a look. If you are able to identify your cancer in the early stages, so it's when it's localized, that means stage 1, stage 2, or even marginally regional, which is borderline 2 and 3, right?
Yes.
Yes. You actually have a 70% chance. That means 7 out of 10 cancer patients like this will make it. But however, once you go into stage 3, late stages, and stage 4, it's almost a death sentence. Only one, that means 9 out of 10 will not make it, will pass on. So it's obviously something that you want to avoid. Now, since we talk about the survival rate dropping so drastically when the cancer spreads or metastasizes at stage 4, stage 3, stage 4, let's talk about the treatment for kidney cancer, Doc. How do you actually treat kidney cancer? What's the primary forms, and what are all usual forms of cancer treatment effective for kidney cancer?
Not all. So the most effective one would be surgery, followed by immunotherapy.
Okay, this makes absolute sense, everybody. Once cancer spreads across your body, stage 3, stage 4, surgery is no longer an option because you can't be cutting up every part of your body, right? So surgery is only an option when the cancer cells are or the tumor is localized. So it makes sense that the survival rate drops from 7 out of 10 surviving to only 1 out of 10 surviving. So don't let kidney cancer spread. And Doc, I also see you said, so chemotherapy and radiation therapy doesn't work well for...
No. The reason being, the kidney cells is not a highly replicating organ.
Okay, that makes sense.
Chemotherapy and radiation therapy will only work well for areas in the body, or
That means you get rid of the bad cells and let good ones replace them.
yes, especially with the cell turnover is quite high.
But
Or
yeah,
quite
right.
fast.
Kidney,
So
kidney
that's-
nephrons are never replaced.
Yeah, kidneys are never replaced. So it's number one, cut it out, or number two, use other means to kill off the cancer cells, which can be immunotherapy or your targeted therapy, like these drugs.
So it is again a refresher and important to understand that once surgery is not an option, once the tumor has spread over your body, the most effective or commonly prescribed treatment would then be chemotherapy. Even radiation therapy is targeted because you don't bombard your whole body with radiation. So chemotherapy is really the best standard approach when cancer spreads. But kidney cancer is resistant to that.
Yes, it won't work.
It
Chemotherapy
won't
will not
work. Sorry, not resistant. It won't work. So you see how terrible it is if you ever allow kidney cancer to spread. The good news is that immunotherapy still has a good chance to be effective. However, there are limitations, Doc.
Yes, there are a lot of limitations. No, for immunotherapy, only 8.2%.
Only one out of 10.
Yeah, only 1 out of 10 would be
Eligible.
for this treatment protocol. The other one, the other option, if this is not an option for you, immunotherapy, then it would be sunitinib or your targeted therapy.
And as we can see from the survival rate, which is only 1 out of 10, these immunotherapies are not your best shot once you have kidney cancer that has spread. It's basically just a last resort.
Yes.
Something to do before, yes. So Doc, let's not end on the morbid topic like that, on a morbid note. What is the best way to win against CKD and kidney cancer?
Best way to win is to prevent it from happening in the first place. Okay? Because if you take a look at the risk factors are
Obesity,
modifiable.
in your control.
Yeah, these are risk factors that are well within your control. So prevent it from happening in the first place. Now, what are the things that you should be focusing on? If you're smoking, stop smoking. If your diet is bad, well, go for a plant-based diet. As much as possible, go plant-based. No? Then exercise regularly.
You know what I love about cancer prevention? Cancer prevention is simple. It is. What you just said is simple. Stop smoking, eat more plants or take plant-based food only, and exercise regularly. However, simple does not mean easy.
Correct.
It is simple, so everybody, that's the good news. It's not something that you cannot do or you cannot understand. It is simple. It's not easy because many of us have bad habits, or it's already habitual that we eat more meat than we eat any other food groups, right? We eat more meat than we eat plants. In the Philippines, when I go to the cafeteria, I see most people's meals. There's absolutely no plants. The only plant is rice.
The main dish is always a meat product or
and
a
rice.
food product. The vegetables are
Look at the most popular top silog. It's egg, sausage, and rice. Where's the vegetable there? There is no vegetable there.
Correct.
Right? So it is a simple anti-cancer, or to prevent cancer is simple. However, it's not necessarily easy. But you know, we're coming up to our next segment, which is Ask Me Anything. So ask Doc Jansen how to make it easier for you to follow the simple steps in treating or preventing cancer.
Hi everybody, my name is Sheila and you are watching another episode of Simply Healed webinar brought to you by Simply Nature, your long-time running healthcare awareness webinar here in social media. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, because tonight's topic is entitled, Can Chronic Kidney Disease Lead to Kidney Cancer? So this is a very interesting topic and I can see a lot of questions coming in. Questions are still very much welcome. So without further ado, to answer all our questions, I'd like to call on our CEO of Simply Nature, Mr. Sean Lim, and of course, our lifestyle medicine doctor, Dr. Jansen Tan Calalan. Good evening, Sir Sean, and good evening, Dr. Jansen.
Good evening, Sheila. Good evening, Doc.
Hi, hello everyone. Hello Sheila, hello Sean. Hello everybody who's watching now. Good evening to you.
Yeah, I see some familiar names. Quick shout out to Miss Lily from Malaysia. So always nice to see someone so close to home online. And yeah, and I also see other familiar names, and I think more will drop in. People always drop in during the Ask Me Anything segment.
That's true. Shout out, of course, to Sir Devay, husband, as well. And of course, we have a lot of new viewers tonight. Welcome and thank you for joining us. There you go. All right, so for the first question for tonight, coming from Ms. Ma Yen, can this help chronic kidney disease patients? I think she's talking about PPARs.
All right.
And PPARs help.
Okay, I'll take that since I'm the PIPA guy. So the answer is yes, because there is a cause to your chronic kidney disease, right? One of the more common causes, Dr. Jansen, please add in if I'm missing anything, is diabetes. You know, diabetes does lead to renal damage. So our PIPA protocols is really good for managing inflammation, managing cholesterol, managing blood sugar. Cholesterol often is tandem with hypertension. Hypertension also causes a lot of stress on your kidney. So prolonged hypertension plus your diabetic plus inflammation is the thing that starts all these kidney problems. And if you get rid of the root cause, then you are able we manage these root factors, then there's a chance for your kidney to reverse. Okay, so what is that's the long answer. The short one is this: how do we know that we can make an impact to CKD patients? We know because we have had patients certified, work with doctors that were about to go on dialysis and they avoided dialysis. Dr. Jansen has patients and he works with many CKD patients also, and even if some of the patients at the end went for dialysis, they were able to delay it by 1 year plus. This is one of Dr. Jansen's many CKD patients. So on my side, on the other doctors that Simply Nature works with, yeah, we keep hearing cases of kidney disease reversal. Now, when I use the word reversal, your doctors is going to say, that's wrong, you can't reverse CKD. Well, yes and no, but I just don't know how to use a better word than reversal. Before the CKD actually destroys your kidney cells, there's a chance for you to repair it before it gets destroyed. So again, as we have talked during the discussion, it is true, once your kidney cells, the nephrons, get destroyed, it is irreversible. It is irreversible. But before it is 100% destroyed, there is a chance that you can prevent it from being destroyed in the first place. But once the nephrons are already damaged, you are already starting to suffer CKD. So in a way, early stages of CKD, where it's not the total destruction of your kidney nephrons, it means that you can reverse that process, right? And last and most encouraging one is for patients who are already on dialysis. If you are on dialysis, it's a good chance that your kidneys have really been destroyed. A good percentage of your kidneys have been destroyed. That's why you need dialysis, right? And here's the good news. When I was in Taiwan, I was being briefed on a patient who was on dialysis for 15 years, 1-5. As you heard from Dr. Jansen, and you can Google it yourself, once you start dialysis, your life expectancy drops to 5 to 10 years. So this patient was on dialysis for 15 years, and he is still very healthy, doesn't look like a dialysis patient, able to eat many things, because he has been on a PIPA protocol for the last 15 years. So there you go. Even if you are already on irreversible CKD, there is still that quality of life that the protocol is able to assist you with. All right? Doc, you want to add anything to that?
So to answer the question, yes, actually PPARs can really help patients who have chronic kidney disease. So how does it work? So on top of what Shen just said, just shared, the root cause, so why does the kidney get damaged? So number one, it's because of those two very common chronic illness that we have nowadays, which is hypertension and diabetes. So first, hypertension. So why are you hypertensive? It's either your blood vessels are inflamed, or your blood vessels have plaques, no, inside them, so the pressure increases, or you are under stress, no. Everything, all of these things, no, when you take a look at them, each one of them, it all boils down to inflammation. Okay, and of course for diabetes as well. So for diabetes, your blood sugar is really very high. So the sugar molecules will attach to the blood vessel wall. So that can degrade the blood vessel wall, no? Of course, on top of that, diabetes in and of itself can increase the inflammation inside your body. So by inflammation, no, what I'm talking about, by inflammation, what I mean is chronic low-grade inflammation. So this is very different. This is a different kind of inflammation from your ankle sprain, okay? So if you sprain your ankle, that's also inflammation, okay? And you feel pain, but this is different because if you have a sprain, no, or any musculoskeletal
or cut
or anything, no, that's very acute. So inflammation sets in. And you feel pain from the inflammation, okay? But this one, no, the kind of inflammation that I'm talking about is chronic, meaning long time, okay? It's there for a very long time, okay? Low grade, so meaning it is there, but it is not sufficiently high for you to feel anything, okay? So it sort of creeps on you throughout the years.
Like background noise.
Yeah, it's like background noise. So it's there, but you don't really feel anything until a tipping point later on in your life. Okay, and one thing about PPARs is that it is really a very good. It has very good anti-inflammatory characters. No, so if you have chronic low-grade inflammation, PPARs is really the way to go. Okay, because it's also a superfood. Okay, so yeah, there you go.
Excellent. We are starting off very encouragingly to our patients out there. Thank you.
Yeah, and Doc, since you talked about you highlighted inflammation recently, just this weekend, because last week we had an amazing result from one patient. One of our patients had a tumor, a cyst, in her throat, and the patient is actually a worship singer. So very important for the voice.
Yes.
She actually went to 5 ENT specialists, ear, nose, and throat specialists. They all said that there's only one option for her, which is to go for surgery. And they all said that the surgery would put her voice, her singing voice, at risk. So the amazing thing is that the cyst was able to be resolved without going for surgery using PPAR protocols. Her ENT was so shocked, he checked her throat in that one session 3 times because he couldn't believe it. He was saying that it's a miracle. He was really baffled by it. But what I'm going to talk about is that because of this thing that happened among that social circle, another person went on the product, on the soft gel capsule, because she was hypertensive. And guess what? 2 days. I just sent a text message because this is my group of friends. So when your friends buy stuff from you, it's more stressful than when strangers buy stuff from you, right? Because you know the person. So anyway, I sent a message and asked her, how is it? And she actually said, wow, her blood pressure went down. And she said, she added in her text that, she promised she was actually off her maintenance meds. So that means she was off her meds and she was taking a soft gel and her hypertension went down. So I just wanted to let everybody know that, these are effective protocols to manage. Because I see some questions down on the screen. It's not asking about CKD, but asking how to prevent CKD. So you prevent CKD by avoiding inflammation, avoiding hypertension, and at the same time, you get all the other benefits. So just taking an opportunity. Oh yeah, sorry. What I really wanted to say before I distract, okay, Sheila, if I'm talking too long, just give me a punch, okay? I'm
happy that I'm just right beside you today.
Yeah, see, she's right beside me today. Okay, So what I really wanted to say when Doc Jansen said this is that when I was having a conversation with my friend whose her blood pressure went down, we talked about Parkinson's disease, all right, and dementia as well, because we are getting old. And I said to her, in Singapore, this is getting serious. A lot of people are having dementia and Parkinson's, and unlike the huge support here in Philippines, because Doc Jansen, how many siblings do you have?
I have 2.
You have 2, so you have 3 of you, right?
There's 3 of
In
us.
Singapore, it's very common only to have one kid. So can you imagine how stressful it is for one kid to look after a parent who has dementia? Right? If you have 2 brothers, you can still say, hey, today's your turn, right? But if you are a single child, it's really very stressful and very taxing, also financially draining. So I wanted to tell everybody that one of the root cause for brain disorder, and we include schizophrenia, depression, Parkinson's, dementia, inflammation is one of the root causes. It's not the only cause, but it's one of the important root cause. So if you can manage chronic inflammation, you're also saving yourself from dementia in your old age. Okay, so I think that is worth knowing.
Thank you. I just want to echo out, I'm happy that you kept on reiterating about the inflammation, because PPARs is actually a very good and very well-known anti-inflammatory.
Yes, very good for anti-inflammatory.
Thank you. Alright, so for the next question coming from Ms. Jen, how to determine CKD staging?
How to determine CKD staging? Doc!
It's based on your creatinine. Actually, it's based on a lot of factors. No, we actually use a calculator to determine this. So, here it is. No, so if you go on a Google search, okay, so just go on a Google search and type in CKD staging. So and go to the images. Okay, so you'll see a table over there. Wherein you have your CKD stage 1 up until 5, okay? It is based on EGFR, or your estimated glomerular filtration rate, okay? So this is the glomerular filtration rate is how fast is it's actually the metric on how well your kidney is functioning. So the creatinine is just an indirect measure of your kidney function. So it doesn't, for all of you, it doesn't mean that when you have an elevated creatinine and you automatically have kidney disease. No, okay? It depends, it still depends on your history and your comorbid illnesses. But just to give you an idea on how we measure EGFR, is that it is based on the creatinine levels, it is based on your age, it is based on your weight, okay? So these factors, okay, would have to be taken into consideration. Now, once we already have the estimated glomerular filtration rate, then that is the time when we determine the staging of your CKD, depending on what value you have. Okay, so that's how. Okay, so very easy. Just Google CKD staging according to EGFR. You'll see it over there. No, more or less where you what CKD stage is corresponding to the EGFR. Okay.
And this EGMR or FR is taken via blood extraction?
Yes. It's based on your serum creatinine or your blood creatinine. Okay, that is where the EGFR is based. Okay.
You know, I just want to take this opportunity because I was having dinner with Dr. Jansen, and we were asking ourselves about telemedicine or teleconsulting. So, you know, we are also used to teleconsulting during the pandemic because Meron, no other choice. Yes. The hospital won't admit you, diba? Today, now that we are back to our normal, if you look at the expressway in Philippines, the EDSA traffic is back. All right. So, is telemedicine still something useful? I mean, the question is back up to everyone that's watching tonight. Let us know what you think, right? But because as I was discussing with Dr. Jansen, I think if you have an inquiry about, let's say, should I be worried about my kidney? I want to see the doctor about my diabetes. These are illnesses where you really don't have to spend 4 hours, 2 hours to travel there and then wait 2 hours at the clinic just to see the doctor for 5 minutes. You don't need to do that. These are actually medical questions and inquiries that, wow, teleconsulting would be effective, cost effective, save you time. You can wear a nice shirt on top and boxer shorts below, right? And nobody
Yes,
would
true.
know. All right. And and also the thing is with diagnostics, like for example in Metro Manila, high precision is everywhere. It's literally everywhere. So you can have a consult. The doctor can prescribe you, they can Viber you the what blood test you need to do. And then you just go to your nearest high precision, but that might be 10 minutes walk from your house. I don't know. They really have so many everywhere. And then you can do it, and then you can conveniently do teleconsulting again to the doctor. You can Viber your results to Dr. Jansen, and then you can quickly arrange at the appropriate time, suitable to your timetable, and you can have a teleconsult. So I think for all the listeners here today, I just want to share that I think we are going to continue to explore telemedicine, Simply Healed Medical Group by Dr. Jansen. I think it's for me, I really think it's a great service, instead of having to go all the way to the hospital. Okay, I see a lot of very pertinent questions.
Yes.
Okay, so
just before we go to the next question, for those of you who wish to have a consult with Dr. Jansen and Calalan, on the description box is the link where you can schedule yourself to be interviewed by her very pretty secretary, Miss Beth. Okay. Alright, so the next question that we have here coming from Miss Rose Villar. Are there other plant-based food? What other foods do you recommend for managing CKD?
Doc, someone is asking if they don't want to go for plant-based. Is there another way?
No, unfortunately, there's no other way. Even with very small amounts of animal protein, it can affect the kidney function. Okay, so here's the thing, no. Your kidneys, once it's damaged, the areas of the kidneys that are damaged cannot be reversed anymore. So how do people get away with try in reversing their CKD? Suddenly creatinines are improving, kidney functions are improving. It's because the overall efficiency of the kidney is improving. Okay, so now that area of the kidneys which are damaged, okay, once it undergoes fibrosis, okay, or in medical terms, so it's a sclerosis, no. So it's the point of no return. So it's very difficult to heal the kidney or for the kidney to recover from that. Now, of course, as a patient, you'll try everything in your power to of course, number one, it's to prolong the worsening. Okay, so prevent the worsening as much as possible. So you try all kinds of treatments, all foods, no, just to slow down this process. So it's usually the inflammation, okay, that goes down if you do this. Now, during the times when the inflammation is low, now your kidney is trying to adapt to the new environment and trying whatever it can to make the filtration rate more efficient. Okay, during this time, it's all success. Okay, it's all success. Everything is going well. Then suddenly you had that craving, and then you suddenly ate fish or eggs or whatever animal food product you have. No, I mean probably that lechon or that pork barbecue. Okay, because it's just so delicious and you miss it so much. So when you eat that, that small piece, that will cause inflammation because those foods are innately inflammatory. Okay, so again, that food, which is high in protein, that would be broken down into protein, and then eventually individual amino acids. When this happens, okay, and it's and it's a food that is highly inflammatory, your kidney, again, will experience inflammation. Now, the remaining parts of your kidney which are still functioning will get damaged suddenly. Okay, so that's why whenever you eat these kinds of foods, your kidney function goes down. Okay, on top of the inflammation that is already happening inside your body. So my point, my position here is, if you have CKD and you are trying to prevent it from worsening even further, stop eating the foods that you should not be eating. Okay, there is no other way. Okay, because food's effect is very substantial inside our body. Okay, so as much as possible, eat the foods which are anti-inflammatory. So these are plant foods. Okay, when they studied these animal protein versus plant protein, when they looked at their effect on the kidney function, it's always the animal protein that damages the kidney or damages the kidney function. It doesn't happen when you take in plant protein. Okay.
Doc, that's why you should take care of your kidney, because if you ever go on dialysis, goodbye to those foods that you love. You really cannot eat them anymore.
Yes.
So that's why if you are a meat eater and you end up having to go for dialysis, you will be very miserable for some time until you adjust to your plant-based foods. So again, if you're looking for foods that are good for your kidney, the answer is plant-based. Are there any alternatives? The answer is no. Now I'm going to do a little bit of cheat, okay? What if you still want to eat meat? Then better that you supplement with products like Simply Nature Pipa than not do anything at all and just eat meat. Alright? So Doc Jansen will not approve of it. But it's like if you are if your body is starting a fire, at least pour some water on the fire.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not going to kill the fire, but it will slow down the burning, right? So, to put it simply, if you're going to eat foods that are inflammatory, then take more foods that are anti-inflammatory. And if you really, really hate vegetables, then take supplements like Simply Nature, which is very anti-inflammatory. But I'm going to say this right now. It doesn't mean because you take Pipa tablets, you don't need to eat vegetables. Okay? It just means it's better that you take Pipa tablets than not. At least that will give you some fighting chance. And try to quickly learn to eat more vegetables. Okay? Alright. So the cheat is take Pipa tablets. It will help. Okay?
That was a pretty good question coming from Ms. Rose. Thank you.
Sorry, just to interrupt you, Sheila. I just want to say, for Bien, for Lynn Cordero, for Richard Kabaktulan, and for Raquel Monosca Nicholas, we will answer your question. Okay, I see it. I just want to let you know. We will answer your question. Be patient. Okay?
Yeah, we invited everybody to drop their questions down. Like I was saying, the questions are very, very good. The viewers that we have here are benefiting from it. I'm sure that not only patients are watching us tonight, but also the caregivers out there. It's very important that they know what they need to serve their patients as well. Okay? So coming from Mr. Bien.
Bien, Mr. Bien, we're answering your question.
My creatinine is below normal. Is it okay or a sign of kidney problem? It's a good question.
Okay, you don't have any kidney problems, okay? A low creatinine is not something that you should be worrying about, okay? So it just means that you either drank too much water or...
Your kidneys are very efficient.
Or your kidneys are very efficient, or you have low muscle mass, okay? So it's one of those things. But among those things, not really worry. It's not the right term. I would focus more on, or I would consider more. You might have low muscle mass. So one solution is, if you really want to be OC about it, you want to have a perfectly normal creatinine, then why not go exercise? Okay, but not too much. Okay, because breakdown of muscle can increase your creatinine levels as well. Okay, so
So you see,
have it.
I'm a person of rather extreme tendencies. That's why when I go exercise, I start to go a bit crazy about it. So that's why I take lots of PIPA tablets, anti-inflammatory.
Oh yes. Speaking of exercise, okay.
Oh yes, Doc, you are going back to the gym now.
Yeah, I'm going back to the gym already. Well, this is not just my experience, no, but this is really a legitimate research that they've done on the main ingredient of PPAR tablets, which is microalgae. You know, when athletes take in microalgae, their recovery time is much faster.
Yeah.
Exercise. Yeah, so this is really for those of you who have family members or friends who are athletes or gym
buffs.
Gym buffs, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the right term. So yeah, you might want to recommend or share. They might want to try microalgae like Simply-nature PPARs. They really feel the difference.
Yes.
The recovery time is much faster.
Because a lot of gym supplements is to give you more protein. Right? Which is a doc is already mumbling over there saying wrong concept, right? What is great is PIPA tablets actually help you on a recovery and prevent all the damage that is being done. So lower the inflammation. So all these are even more useful than just having more protein. All right. Okay.
He's thin. Okay, that's why.
Okay, there you go. So Doc Jansen, very prophetic, right? Okay, next question.
Okay. Just before the next question, I just want to greet Miss Rose Janet Alonto coming from Rizal Medical Center. Thank you for watching us here in Simply Nature.
Oh, I saw this one. I want Doc to answer this one. This one is kind of interesting.
Coming from
From Mr. Richard Kabaktulan.
Ah.
He says, Doc, can I ask, every day drinking energy drinks can damage the kidney? Wow. Number one, it'll give you diabetes, very high in sugar. But what about the kidney question?
Yes, it can.
How?
Especially if you're one way, if you're sensitive to one of the ingredients of the energy drink, you can develop acute kidney injury.
Ooh, that sounds serious.
This is another term, but it has different mechanism, but symptoms are quite the same with CKD. So for CKD, your creatinine elevates, for a very long period of time, over a long period of time. But for acute kidney injury, like AKI, it's also known as AKI. Acute kidney injury is when your creatinine suddenly spikes up. Okay, so that is acute damage done on your kidneys. Okay, so damage that is inflicted on a very short period of time. Okay, so that's one. Another one is if you drink energy drinks every day, okay, you can develop hypertension from it, especially if you're drinking too much of it. It's because of the amount of caffeine that it has. It's way above what our body needs, okay? So if I were you, I would avoid energy drinks, If you really need to have that stimulant, that boost in energy, you need to take a look at the other aspects of your lifestyle. Because if you need an energy drink, okay, there's something wrong in your lifestyle. So, are you sleeping well? Okay, that's number one. Another one would be if you always experience getting low bat. Are you eating the right kind of food? Okay, if you're eating a very high fat meal, then you can experience brain fog, which can make you sleepy. Okay, so that would now prompt you to drink the energy drink. Okay, so if I were you, I'd avoid them. Okay, but if you really want to drink energy drinks, don't drink them every single day of your life. Okay, drink them once in a while, like
once a week.
No, once a week is for me is still very frequent.
Wow.
It would be once or twice in a month.
Okay. So sort of like when you really need it.
Yeah, I mean, just for the taste. I mean, if you really need it,
then there's a problem. You have a health problem somewhere. I just want to give an example of what Dr. Jansen said. I have a friend who used to work in Accenture. So that's a very famous consulting firm. They work very long hours. His average number of coffee a day is 10.
Wow.
is 10. Okay, average is 10.
Yeah, what happened to him?
He took PPAS tablets. First 3 days, he couldn't wake up. He had to take emergency leave from Accenture. All right, but from the 4th day onwards, he only needed 1 cup of coffee a day. So obviously, something was wrong with his body that required 10 cups of coffee a day. And why was he knocked out for 3 days after taking Simply Nature PPARs? Because his body was then repairing. After the rest and the repair, from that day onwards, he basically cut coffee. From 10 cups a day to 1 cup a day is what I call cutting coffee. Yes, it's a huge 90% cut, right? Okay, so that's one comment over there. If you're always feeling tired, there might be something not right in your body. So taking all these energy drinks is just a stopgap measure. The next one is, just to be clear with everybody, what is an energy drink? I think we're talking about, we're not talking about 100 plus or Pocari, right? We're really talking about things like Red Bull, Cobra.
What's that brand?
Sting, is it? Monster?
Sting.
Sting is also one.
Sting also.
But is it Monster, the international brand?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so I think for Richard, the fact that you will ask this question, you already suspect that it's not good for you, because I used to drink Red Bull not because of the energy. I like the taste of Red Bull,
yes,
alright?
It's usually the taste.
But I felt something. I felt like I was pumping my blood full of chemicals. I could feel it.
Yes,
so Richard, I know why you're asking that question. It feels a bit too strong for us to be taking it every day. And today you get a very clear answer. No, it's not good for you. It can damage your kidneys.
Yeah, actually, I've had
I do like Red Bull. It's really nice. I like the taste.
Yeah, I've had one schoolmate back in St. Luke's, during medical school. But when I was a student in St. Luke's, this guy already, I think, it was a story back then circulating in med school before. So the story is, medical students, when we're studying medicine, we're under very
a lot of stress.
A lot of stress. We lack sleep. So to fight off sleep, so we can study more, we usually drink energy drinks. And this
is so good. No wonder doctors, okay, because doctors grew up on energy drinks also. No wonder a lot of doctors say it's okay, because that's how I got through med school.
Yeah, I'm still alive and kicking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their argument. Anyway, this guy, when he was studying for the final exam, he drank, I think, 3 bottles of energy drink. I forgot the brand. I'm not gonna mention any brand.
Yeah.
He drank around 3 bottles. Then he suffered a stroke. When he suffered the stroke, he was admitted in the neuro ICU. Of course, he was able to recover eventually because of his age. He was still very young. So he was able to recover, but he was not able to go back to med school and finish and graduate as a doctor anymore. Okay, because of his illness. Okay, so this is why. Okay, don't abuse these drinks. These drinks are not good for your body. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I wanted to answer Raquel because Raquel, you said you wanted to try our products, but you're not sure if your nephro is okay with it. Okay, there are 2 options. The first option is easier. Have a consult with Dr. Jansen. Okay, obviously you're concerned because you want medical expert to assure you that what you're taking is okay. All right. So I want to let you know, Dr. Jansen is a full-fledged medical doctor specializing in lifestyle medicine on top of his family medicine degree. All right.
Yep.
So he's not an integrative doctor. He's a MD. All right. So okay. So the next one is you can always text us your nephro's name. We have medical representatives that can go down and try to introduce our products to your nephro. So at least even if your nephro doesn't want to carry our products, because we only sell our products through doctors and our official Lazada mall and Shopee. Okay, at least he will be familiar with how the product works. At least if he's familiar, he won't stop you from using it. Okay, but your nephro might stop you because, again, to all nephrologists, as what you heard from Dr. Jansen, the kidney disease, once damaged, is irreversible. So they are very scared of any of their patients taking a product that they are not familiar with, right? So it's not because they don't believe in PPARs or our products. It's simply anything that they don't know, they say don't take lang,
We
right?
tend to become very protective of our patients. I am too.
Yeah, that's why your nephro says no, not because they don't believe in our product, simply because they don't know, they're not familiar. And for them, your kidney is already not doing well. Please don't damage it, because if you do, it's irreversible. Now, so what you want to do is to at least know that you have a full medical backing of another doctor who knows about PPARs, who will then be able to tell you, no, it is absolutely fine. And last but not least, if you want us to send our medical representatives to talk to your nephro, and we'll be really happy too. We'll love to have another doctor distribute our products, right? So these are the options that you have, okay? So as you can see, we're very confident it's no problem for your kidneys. Now you have a few choices you can make. One is to let us meet your nephro, or you consult with Dr. Jansen yourself, so that you can get the 100% assurance from another medical doctor.
Yes, just for everybody's information, apart of course from the consultation with Dr. Jansen, we on a quarterly basis we do what we call Doctors Forum, which is very much
oh yes,
very much specially for your doctors to understand.
Yes, so that all the viewers here are confident, and I'm sure you'll be very glad to know every 2 months we do a doctors forum, as in I will speak and explain not to viewers like you. Everybody in that forum is doctors, okay? If we are so confident to stand in front of doctors and explain to them, and doctors actually sign up for the program to learn about what's new in the medical world, right? So when they see what is this PPARs that my patients keep asking, so that's where they get invited to our forum, and we actually present to doctors. And you can actually find the doctors forums on our YouTube channel. Simply go to Simply Nature International's YouTube channel, and you can see our past doctors forum. The difference between the doctors forum and the health talk that you are here tonight is that the doctors forum is a bit more technical, yes. a lot more technical terms, medical terms, because the audience are all doctors.
Doctors and medical practitioners.
Doctors and medical practitioners. All right, thank you. Next question.
All right, coming from Ms. Foodie's Centrans, last result that I got from my lab test, EGFR is 21 and creatinine is 235. First lab test, EGFR is 19 and creatinine is 247. Doc, is there any possibilities that my CKD will be reversed with these figures?
Too early to say, but it's good news that your kidney function increased. Okay. However, the next question is, would you have changed the CKD staging that you have? Sheila, what is the EGFR number again?
Alright, last result was 21 and the creatinine is 235.
21, and then the other one is
235.
235, and the other
the first lab test previously is the EGFR is 19.
19.
And the CREA is 247.
247.
Yeah, okay, so that for me, no, it's not that significant increase. Okay, 19 and 21, that's not much significant, no. However, just with the increase, no, it's very promising. However, here's the thing, it's still CKD stage 4. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, you're still within that range, because for CKD stage 4, the range of EGFR is between 15 and 29. Okay, so you need to hit 30 for you to for us to say that your kidney function improved significantly already. Okay.
So you can have a consult with Dr. Jansen. I do know at the top of my mind, if you have tried many options already and you do want to go for an option where honestly it's not a guarantee, it depends on whether your condition is ideal or suitable for the protocol. But we do have our most, highest level of protocol that might, well, you could give it a shot, all right? Because as you well know, at stage 4 CKD, you want to, if you can, try every method that is safe, and our methods are safe, all right, to try and save your kidney. I can tell you one thing though, if you go on that strong protocol, even if your kidney doesn't improve a lot, your other aspects like your metabolic syndromes will drastically improve. That means your blood sugar, your blood cholesterol, your inflammation, if you actually have gout and joint pains, things like that will all actually really clear up. Very confident on that. So worst case scenario, you end up still, the worst case scenario is that your CKD is still there, but the rest of your other comorbidities would have improved a lot, and that will take some stress off your kidneys and of course improve your quality of life and give you less problems to be worried about, right? You don't need to be hypertensive and have a stage 4 CKD. If you can get rid of the hypertension, then you only need to worry about the stage 4 CKD.
Yeah, and that's also what we want. As much as possible, we want the risk factors or the factors that's damaging the kidneys to eliminate them. Okay, so that your kidneys would improve in function or at least maintain its function. Okay.
All right, Bien has one last question, not related to kidney. PPARs could lower PSA level of a prostate. Yes, it can.
Yeah.
Just go to our YouTube channel. Literally, there is Dr. Gavino, who himself is a doctor suffering from stage 3 or 4 prostate cancer. His PSA scores went down so much that he stopped chemotherapy, all right? That he was able to, and he's still alive today, and it's been 6 years. 6 years, I think it's about 6 years, right? So for 6 years, he's been on the PPAR soft gels. His PSA numbers are controlled. So for Bien, I hope that's good news for you.
Yeah. Also, you might be asking for someone you know, no? So it would be better for you to advise that person to go for a consult because although yes, PPARs can lower the PSA levels, but of course, this has to be in the proper context. Okay?
Yes, correct.
Okay, because if you still continue hitting yourself on the knee, okay, then of course that would be it would be very difficult. Okay, for this to improve. So it has to be in the right context. So PPARs is just one of the protocol. Okay, one of the ingredients in the protocol. So please go for a consult.
Yeah, I can see Bien's replies. Wow, thank you. So I just want to say, Bien, wow. That's why to the earlier questions of the persons asking, you have stage 4 CKD. Should you try our strongest protocol? My answer to you is yes. Because if you have stage 4 CKD, most likely you also have hypertension. You probably have blood cholesterol issues. You probably have other diabetes. Yeah. So even if we can't reverse your CKD, we can help with all the rest. And the less medical problems you have, the better for your health, right? It's better to just deal with CKD without the diabetes, without the hypertension, without the high blood cholesterol, right? So go for a consult, try it, and it's really fast. Within a month, you will see improvements of one or the other. And like I said, as a stage 4 CKD, there are probably other comorbidities that you have. So at the very least, those will be rectified.
Our patients are actually very happy to know at the end that while using PPARs, because PPARs is not specifically targeting on specific illness, but it actually covers other comorbidities.
That's right. So you kill not 2 birds with 1 stone, you kill at least 3.
Okay, coming from Ms. Franceline MG, what's the correct sequence? Drinking water before exercise or after?
Sequence?
Should you drink before or after?
Yeah.
Anytime, as long as you're thirsty, go and drink water.
Okay, I I will give actual advice on this because I actually had this thing. You know, there was a time where I exercised. I told you I'm a bit of an extremist person. So when I started exercising when I was overweight, I ran 5 kilometers like 2 times a day every day. And then I slimmed down a lot very quickly. Then one day I got really scared. I have blood in my urine. For a guy, when blood comes out, that's a wrong place for blood to come out.
Yeah, that happens when you exercise too much. Okay?
Yeah.
That is what happens when you have muscle breakdown.
Yeah, and I also found out, because first of all, I definitely quickly went to see and also did research on my own. I also found out that if you don't drink enough water and you exercise, there's also a tendency for, I think it's like the pressure, I don't know. There's no water in your bladder, and it actually has a higher chance that you would actually have blood in your urine. So I don't make myself full of water before I exercise, but I do make sure that my throat is not dry.
Yes.
Okay? I drink enough that my throat is not dry, my lips are not dry, okay? Yeah. I don't drink until I'm full or anything, but I just make sure.
Yeah, actually that's also what I do.
Simple logic, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you exercise, when you breathe, right? Especially when you're exercising, you breathe a lot. There's a tendency that your throat dries out.
Yes.
So before exercising, you can drink probably
like
just a little bit of water.
1/3 cup,
just to wet your throat or mouth.
And then in between your exercises, don't go and drink a full cup. You can drink like the 1/3 cup. Keep it moist.
Yeah, keep it moist.
Keep it moist.
Because sometimes when you drink a lot of water while exercising, your stomach suddenly becomes too heavy.
Yeah.
And you feel like you feel like vomiting.
Yeah, that's not right. It's not the right balance. Okay, and then after exercise, drink but don't gulp down your water. Okay, the correct way to drink water is in sips. Let it be absorbed in your body system. Okay, so how do you know that you have enough water in general? If your urine is clear, you have enough water.
That's great tips. Thank you, Dr. Jansen and Sir Sean. Okay. Coming from Ms. Lynn Cardero, can stage 3A CKD patients do Zumba daily for an hour? Will it increase their creatinine and bilirubin?
That is a very good question. Okay.
Number one, I'm very happy that she wants to do Zumba. Good for you.
Good mindset. Okay,
Yes.
for CKD patients, you should not be doing any kind of exercise that long. Okay. 30 minutes is the limit. Okay.
Okay.
And you should not be doing vigorous intensity exercise.
Why, Doc?
You can damage your kidneys because of breakdown of muscle.
Oh.
Okay, so when your muscle breaks down while doing exercise, the amount of protein inside your blood increases.
And then your kidney has to process that, and that stresses your kidney.
Yes, that stresses the kidney because of what we call as ultrafiltration. Okay, so imagine your water filter at home. Suddenly, the water filter at home filters the small particles from the tap water. Okay, so that's why it works. However, if you suddenly put in sand, okay, the filter of your water purification system will get damaged, okay, because the particles is just too big. Imagine, the water pressure from Maynilad or Manila water is so high. Yeah, so your water filtration system will get damaged, especially the water filter. So same thing happens to our kidneys. Okay. So this concept, this question now goes to exercise clearance. Okay. So it's not just patients who have renal diseases, that should go and see their doctor first and try to ask whether or not you have the green signal to exercise. Okay. So if you have cardiovascular diseases, okay. So by cardiovascular diseases, if there are blockages in the arteries of your heart, that's one. Another one is renal disease, like CKD stage 3. And another one is metabolic. Okay, so by metabolic, that's a lot, no? Number one would be thyroid diseases, hypo and hyperthyroid. If you are diabetic, if you are obese, If you have the other metabolic illnesses like your Addison's or your Crohn's, no, these are the rarer ones. Okay, but if you have those diseases that I have just mentioned, it's better to go seek a consult first. Ask your doctor if you can exercise or not. Okay, because there are a lot of factors that we have to consider. Okay, before we give you the go signal. But to answer your question, 1 hour is too long. Zumba is too vigorous. Okay. The exercise that I would advise you to do would just be either light walk or strolls, slow walks. Can you lift weights? Yes, you can lift weights, but not too heavy. Okay, so 30 minutes is enough.
30 minutes, Lynn, that you were asking how many minutes. Doc, I feel inspired to do a demonstration today. Let's see if the camera can still get me. All right, okay, can. You know, you guys can see me, right? Okay, I always say there's this thing that we do, shuai gong, okay? No, go back just now like that, okay? Okay, I'm going to show you what is shuai gong, then you will understand how safe and wonderful it is, right? It's basically do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend your knees a little. This is so it's so good, right? It's so light, right, Doc? There's no it's not like you can see it's so relaxed.
Yeah, but that's relative. Something light can be vigorous for somebody else. Yeah.
Okay, but I just want to show you.
But anyway, that's a very simple exercise.
That's a very simple exercise, and I realized I think it helps with the lymphatic drainage.
Yeah, not just the lymph, everything.
You just saw this very simple movement, and I don't push down my hands. I let it fall on his body weight. So, and then you notice there is that bending of the knees on the 5th stroke. That helps with the venous pump, which means helps your veins push the blood back up into your heart, right? So you can see that's even more relaxing than slow walk. Very little, no impact on the knees.
Yeah.
Recently, I'm starting a new one. You guys want to see? I gotta start here. This one I learned in Taiwan. My GM in Taiwan was sharing with me. It's like a on the spot monkey run. Yeah, it's on the spot monkey run, right? You stand like a monkey with your butt out, and then you do this. You don't actually you can't see my feet, but basically my feet are like this, but it doesn't, my toes don't leave the ground. I only lift my heels up and there's no impact. But you do this for 30 minutes. Right? And then after that you sweat very lightly, you're not out of breath. And apparently there's a following. Doc, in Taiwan, they have like almost 100,000 people doing it simultaneously.
Wow, that is
new. Yeah, so it's really caught on because metabolic syndromes and all these things, because there's a gentle but persistent, constant movement. So there's a lot of circulation.
That's also an exercise that you get.
Yeah, right? Yeah, and you don't need to go anywhere on the spot. It's on the spot. And too bad. And it's very fun because the person who is the person who leads this thing, he's actually a Chinese doctor. So as he does that for 30 minutes, he's speaking. He's like, okay, those of you with this type of disease. He's actually like giving a lecture while you're doing this. So while you're being healthy, you're also receiving. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine we do our AMA like this? all of us will be doing this, and then we'll be answering your question. Okay, those with kidney problems, okay? You can't eat this. So it's very interesting. It's very fun. Doc, maybe you should do that. We should lead an exercise like that, right, guys? If you want that, please type in now and say, Doc, we want you to lead an exercise regime like that. You learn while you exercise. So very wonderful.
Thank you, sir, for demonstrating that. And I'm pretty sure that I can just imagine a lot of people doing it all at the same time.
Yeah,
it looks good.
Yeah, no. They did it on a Viber Line group.
Oh.
Line group and YouTube. You can find it on YouTube. Okay. Again, unfortunately, the person leading it speaks Mandarin, so that might not be very applicable here in in Manila. All right.
We also have the Qigong that Ma'am Jansen is always demonstrating during our VIPs. That's why our VIPs are always in the treat on a quarterly basis, right? There you go. And this is
See, Lily. Lily says, Lily, our longtime viewer, who's also a cancer champion. Yeah, she agrees. She's doing this swinging exercise every day. She says, yeah, she likes it. Okay, very good.
It's good that this has been talked about and discussed, because here in the Philippines, when you do exercise, the idea is the more vigorous it is, the better. But now, for CKD patients, just to echo out what Doc said, it's just 30 minutes and not vigorous. Okay? So there you go. Alright, another question coming from Ms. Lynn. How about if a patient is diabetic with hyperuricemia and CKD? Is it advisable for the patient to take your product?
Haha, yes, that's one of the products that I prescribe to
Monday.com makes scans great again.
Sorry.
Yeah. If you have if you have those diseases, yes, you can. However, please go for a consult. Okay, don't just take it immediately, because PPAR products can actually help in the reversing. So once you are already reversing the illnesses, then we have to titrate down your medication, or in other words, we have to slowly remove your medications safely. Okay, so you have to be monitored by a doctor. So yeah, you can go for a consult so we can help you out. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do something because Lynn, you asked if you can do this. Doc, she can do this simple swinging instead of Zumba, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Lynn, I'm going to do something right now. I just posted the YouTube link. I found an English version, all right, of someone explaining this exercise. Okay, so do this exercise and go for a consult with Dr. Jansen. Lynn is asking how to consult. Don't worry, Lynn. Someone will messenger you. Please reply to the messenger. The person will assist you to arrange for the consult. Okay? Yeah.
You know, Sir Sean, what I like about how Dr. Jansen does his consult is he digs deeper into what the patient is taking, prescription or supplements. He asks that to their patient.
Yeah, I see. It's so good. You know, Dr. Jansen is the right person because he will be able to even comment on your supplementation.
Yeah, I do that with my patients.
Yeah, so you won't get no, everything also cannot eat, right? So maybe if you're taking curcumin or something like that, Dr. Jansen will tell you, oh, it's fine, all right?
Look at them one by one and see if it's beneficial or you're just wasting your money.
And he explains why.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Another question coming from Miss Lily of Philippines. Hello, thank you again for watching us. Okay. A while ago, we were talking about energy drinks. How about for Coke and junk foods? Can it damage kidneys?
Can Coke and junk food damage your kidneys?
Of course. Of course, those are the number one foods that you should be avoiding. Sweetened beverages and processed foods, okay? Processed foods have too much salt, okay? They have a lot of chemicals in them. So these things can damage your kidneys, so you can develop hypertension from eating these foods. Your hypertension can now damage your kidneys. Okay, same thing happens with the other one. Okay, your sweetened beverages.
The alternative. I want to ask you this. Okay, I'm one of those persons who really I drink a lot of plain water, right? And I've been such a good boy, you know, if my wife is listening. Okay, I've been such a good boy. I don't drink Coke. I haven't drank Coke in like
years.
Okay, honestly, I almost want to say years, but okay, let me put it this way. In the last 5 years, I've drank Coke less than 10 times. Okay, so something like that. Okay, now I do still have craving for some flavor apart from plain water all the time, right? So I drink tea, but tea is a very mild flavor thing. Sometimes I want a little bit more kick, right?
Yeah.
So I squeeze like half a lemon in plain water. Okay, can you like drink like one or two? Okay, can you take like one lemon worth of lemon juice every day? Is that bad for your health, or is that absolutely fine?
That's absolutely fine.
Oh, then that's great.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's also have very good anti-cancer properties.
Oh,
Lemon
okay.
is one of the
Oh, that's a good. I have saved everybody today. All right, because let me tell you, you squeeze half a lemon in water.
Why not the whole lemon?
Because I'm kuriput. I'm trying to. Lemon is 25 peso per lemon. Okay. And of course, if you Doc Jansen asks why not a whole lemon. Okay, I am thrifty. Okay, no, because honestly speaking, a whole lemon worth of lemon juice is pretty sour. All right, so normally for one large cup, okay, like a big cup, half a lemon will give you more than enough flavor. It's really very flavorful. It has a kick. Okay, now to spoil myself, okay, sometimes I will put San Pellegrino or Perrier, or basically soda water. It's still plain water but aerated. Then I squeeze the lemon juice in there, so I end up with like a soda feeling. Okay, I get the gas. And then you know, sometimes if you've not drank soda for a long time, just drinking it and then being able to burp, it's like wow.
That's a very creative way of doing it.
Right, so and then I put lemon juice in there, and it's so flavorful. I don't miss the sugar at all. The lemon does give it enough of really a kick. It's very flavorful. I get my gas, my gassy drink, and it satisfies my craving. So Doc Jansen said it's perfectly fine to take one lemon a day. So I basically take one lemon every 2 days. So I usually, in my fridge, you always find like 4 lemons. When I ran out, then I'll go buy another 4. Okay, so I take about 4 lemons a week because that's my only way that my wife will approve of me of getting a flavored drink. All right, but it is very flavorful. I hope that helps for people who want to drink Coke. It's a very good alternative. You will get a kick. It is very tasty. All right.
Basically like soda but without the sugar.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Question coming from Miss Bato Rosas. How about chocolates? Will this damage kidneys? Now they're asking.
Depends on what kind of chocolate.
Milk chocolate, no good.
Yeah, no good.
Dark chocolate.
Yeah, it should be dark chocolate or cacao.
Yeah, and when I just tried to pull a fast one over my wife the weekend, I went to buy dark chocolate. She looked at me. This is 54%. Okay, then I went.
What's the benchmark?
No, I went back. I brought the one. She said, "Dear, this is 64%. Please be serious." So the minimum my wife said for me must be 70% dark chocolate, right? So I went 3 rounds before I got the final approved chocolate for my eating. Okay, so I tried, but you know, Lynn says she drink lemon water too, right? It's such a good alternative. You get the flavor, you get the kick. You don't really need to drink your Coke, right?
You've been speaking about Miss Jocelyn. Hello, Miss Jocelyn. I'm very sure she's watching right now.
Oh, my wife is watching. Oh no, I say good things. Okay, I love my wife.
Okay. Coming from Miss Raquel Nicolas, can I take Gluta stage 3? I want to have a white complexion. Okay.
Okay, first of all, is artificial glutathione good to take in general for anybody?
Yes, it's okay.
It's okay
to take in general. However, for glutathione, that should be IV. Okay, oral glutathione doesn't work.
Oh, that's interesting. Oral glutathione doesn't work.
Yeah, oral glutathione will just be broken down by your digestive system into individual amino acids, so it won't work. Okay, glutathione should be administered IV.
Okay, for Miss Raquel, I have a good news for you. If you take PIPA's protocol, you will have a brightening effect. Okay. Please note the word that I use. The word I use is brightening. Okay, not whitening. Okay. Now, first of all, your own body produces glutathione. Right, Doc?
Yes, correct.
If you take PPARs, you will provide your body with the raw materials to produce its own glutathione. So that's one way to get natural glutathione that goes straight into your bloodstream and doesn't get broken down, so you shouldn't take oral glutathione. Okay, now the next thing is PPARs actually increases the vibrancy of your pigmentation. So your skin will shine, and that will have an effect of making you look fairer. Have you ever met, okay, this one is, because I have a lot of African friends as well, and Singapore Indian friends. Have you ever met a person so black that he shines? Okay, I know it sounds weird. Okay, if you have ever met an Indian, like Southern Indians in Singapore,
Draymond Green.
it's so they are so dark, so black that they glow. They are so black that they glow. Okay, that's because the color of their pigmentation is so strong. It's look at my shirt, right? It's very black. It's so black that it's vibrant. It stands out. It shines, right? Like some people's black hair shines because it's so black. Okay, so this is one of the effects. If you take, it won't make you look darker. Okay, just in case you're so scared that you want to be whitening. Okay, but your pigmentation of your skin will be more vibrant,
like radiant.
Radiant, and because you're radiant, you look fairer. You look fairer. You know, if you artificially whiten your skin, then you can be like a corpse. A corpse is very fair,
Yeah.
but no radiance. Okay, so that's not the kind of whitening we want. We actually want a shine from your skin. All right, so that's one of the side effects of taking side benefits of PPAR tablets. So you can just see, for me, I'm a guy. Dr. Jansen is a guy. And look at Sheila. Sheila's a girl. Me and Dr. Jansen don't wear makeup when we do this show. But look at our skin. We are glowing as much as Miss Sheila with all her makeup over here, right? So that's because we take a lot of PPAR tablets. Yeah, I take 20 PPAR tablets minimum a day. Okay, yeah.
I kind of want to explain myself.
Okay, you want to explain yourself.
It's okay. Alright, so for the next question, just quickly, coming from Miss Ching Chongling, I think she just wants to make sure, what about drinking fresh warm lemon juice every day? Is that
Oh,
okay?
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's
Warm is always better than cold.
That's also okay to do. However, please, when you drink lemon juice, okay, include the zest. Okay, you'll be able to make the lemon juice healthier. And also for cancer patients who are watching, if you want to drink lemon water, that's fine. But include the zest, okay? Because lemon juice with the zest included kills more cancer cells than just the lemon juice alone. Okay, they've done studies about this, so yeah.
Great tip. Thank you, Doc. Alright, quickly coming from Miss Mona Lisa Echalar. Although maybe Miss Mona Lisa, you want to follow up on this because you said 300 plus creatinine, my husband, and also he has potassium. I think he has high potassium, I'm guessing. What would you recommend for them? Or for
okay, for this you have to go for a consult, okay? Because I have to take a look at the medications that you're taking in order to solve this, okay? Yeah, PPARs help, definitely yes, but we have to be very careful, okay? Because if your potassium is already high, I don't know how high, that might endanger your heart function already. So please go for a consult so we can discuss about this, okay?
Thank you, Doc. Right, let's just answer maybe 2 more questions for tonight. Coming from Miss Vilma, how can PPARs help with carpal tunnel syndrome? Not about CKD.
Unfortunately, the issue behind carpal tunnel doesn't have to do anything with metabolism or the food that you're eating. Carpal tunnel syndrome, the reason for that is occupation. It's occupation related, okay? So what happens in carpal tunnel is over our wrist here, no, there is a ligament over here, okay? So underneath the ligament are nerves that passes beneath, that supplies or innervates your fingers, your palm, no, basically your hand. Okay, so what happens in carpal tunnel is that, or in carpal tunnel syndrome, is that the ligament above that nerve, no, is it thickens because of occupation. You use your hands frequently, or you are always on an awkward position. You use your hands on an awkward position, no. So in order to resolve that, you need to undergo physical therapy, or ultimately, to definitively solve this issue, the surgeons would have to cut the ligament. Okay, so surgical as well. Okay, yeah, that's how carpal tunnel syndrome is resolved. So That's one of the things that, or the illnesses that's where PPARs can not address. No? However, if you just want to be healthy, of course, PPARs can help with that. So for general health condition, for general health well-being or general well-being, no, yeah, you can still take PPARs. Okay?
And of course, Doc, if they really undergo the surgery,
Yeah,
for
after
faster
the surgery,
recovery.
yes, the recovery would also be faster. Wound healing would be better as well. Okay.
Alright.
Wow, tonight was a fun session.
Yes.
Yeah, and I can see because our viewers are having fun. They're all sharing their own secrets. Lily says that she drinks cacao with no sugar with a tinge of turmeric and cinnamon and ginger. Wow, it sounds like a sophisticated drink. But you know, Lily, just to check here, I think you have, okay, from a Chinese perspective, you have cacao, which is heaty, ginger, which is heaty as well, and turmeric, which is also heaty. So this is a very heaty drink, huh? So I'm in the process of my TCM course right now because I want to learn something new to be able to add to our conversation. But yeah, perhaps you should add something cooling to your cacao mix because it seems like all the ingredients are a bit heaty. I wonder if cinnamon is heaty or not. Don't worry, I'll ask my TCM lecturer on Monday.
It's good to have Miss Lily because sharing the concoctions that she's making. There you go. Okay. I guess this will be our last question for tonight, coming from Miss Eileen. Can kidney stones lead to chronic kidney disease?
Kidney stones.
Kidney stones.
Wow, that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I never thought about that before.
Let me think.
Okay.
CKD, and I don't think so. But their risk factors are common. Okay, they have a commonality in terms of the risk factor. Kidney stones won't develop into, you cannot develop CKD from kidney stones. Okay, because CKD, we have something what we call in medicine. Okay, we have something what we call as pre-renal, renal, and post-renal kidney injuries. CKD is renal kidney injuries. No? It means that the kidney itself is destroyed, something in the kidney itself. Post-renal means anything that is anything that downstream the kidney. Okay, anything that how do I phrase this?
Flowing down.
Okay, because this is how it goes, no? Why is it called pre-renal, renal, and post-renal? So it has something to do with the blood flow. So how is blood filtered? Okay, how does urine how is urine formed? Okay, so from your blood, okay, from the blood vessels that supplies to your kidney, no, that is pre-renal. Okay, so blood goes in the kidney, it gets filtered. Okay, so inside the kidney itself is renal already. Now, once the blood is filtered, you now have your urine. So your urine will flow out of the kidney. So anything that flows out of the kidney, no, beyond that, that would be post-renal already. So can anything post-renal affect the kidney itself? Yes, if both ureters are blocked, then you can damage the kidney. That is where we see hydronephrosis, or the kidneys get ballooned, no? But this is not really CKD. This is really an acute kidney injury, no? A damage that is inflicted on the kidney on a very short period of time. Okay. However, the reason why you develop CKD and kidney stones in the first place, okay, they have some commonalities. So, how do you develop CKD? It's either you have hypertension, you have diabetes, or you did something, or you took something that damaged the kidney, okay? Or your immune system damaged the kidney, okay? Reasons for being hypertensive and diabetic, yeah. You eat too much animal food product, you eat too much processed food, you do not exercise, you eat too much salt, then these things will happen, okay? For kidney stones, okay, so for kidney stones, if you eat very high salt or you consume a very high amount of salt, okay, then you can develop kidney stones. Can you develop kidney stones from infection? Yes, okay. From UTI as well, you can develop kidney stones. But more often than not, it's too much salt in your blood, okay. By salt, I mean calcium, okay, and you drink too little water, okay, you can develop kidney stones from that. But again, it's not as simple as that, no. If you eat too much meat products as well, that's also a risk factor for developing kidney stones. If you drink dairy, too much dairy as well, yeah, you can develop kidney stones from that because of too much calcium. What else? Calcium supplements. If you take too high dose calcium supplements, then you can develop kidney stones from that as well. Okay, so these things, and of course, your urine has to be acidic for calcium stones, for stones to develop. Okay, your urine has to be acidic, okay, for it to happen. So yeah, there you go. Those are the commonalities. So can you develop CKD from kidney stones? Not directly, indirectly yes, because they have commonalities, no? Yeah, they have common grounds, especially when it comes to the food that you're eating.
Very neat. Thank you for the very detailed answer. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. Okay, just one more, because Miss Lynn actually has one question. Homemade lemongrass with ginger juice, is it okay for CKD?
Yeah, it's okay. It's plant-based. Yeah.
For Miss Lily, I just checked for you. Cinnamon is also heaty. Alright, so your cacao is a very heaty concoction. So just to share with you, I was, due to the stress that Doc Jansen gives me, I had high blood pressure. Not because I have any cholesterol or any of other issues, right? So that goes to show that, you know, not only the food that you eat, even your work environment has an impact on your body, alright? So my wife started to make me drink raw celery. Wow. I do.
That's a taste.
Yeah, it's a very interesting taste, and that's very challenging for me because I actually don't like celery. So anyway, when we inform my acupuncturist, so here's very interesting. I'm here with Dr. Jansen. We are versed in Western medicine, and I also have another foot in TCM, right? Where I go for my acupuncturist. Anyway, in Singapore, one of the most famous traditional Chinese medicine physicians, he's actually a gynecologist by training. So he graduated from conventional medicine, is in gynecology, and then he's now one of the famous TCMs as well. Now he doesn't practice gynecology anymore, he practices TCM. So I'm just saying that it is not unusual to find many medical doctors who are well versed in both. And that goes to show you these are not contradictory. They are complementary, very different usages, all right? But anyway, I just wanted to share with you why I know ginger is heaty, because my acupuncturist was telling my wife, oh, you're giving your husband celery, that is very cooling. Okay, so you gotta balance that drink up a little, especially if you're making him drink raw every morning, right? So she said just add a little bit of raw ginger and blend it in. So that's just to help everyone understand, those who are not familiar with Chinese cultural approach to the right foods. So from Dr. Jansen, it's a very different approach about vegetables, legumes, and then from the TCM approach, there is that additional factor of what's cooling and a heaty food. Literally, it's got nothing to do with, it's not body temperature per se, alright? It's actually yin and yang. It's a whole different paradigm. Not for tonight, but I just wanted to share that with Lily. What to put in your cacao, I don't know. I'll go ask my TCM the next time I see her, alright?
Definitely not sugar. Okay.
Definitely not sugar.
Thank you, Sir Sean. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. Of course, just before we say goodbye, and of course, before we say the other events that we'll be having, could you please give our viewers very short parting words for today?
Let me start.
Okay.
I really enjoyed tonight, and I can see many of our viewers enjoyed tonight. Please do us a favor. Please share and encourage your friends to listen in, because it energizes me and Doc Jansen when we see a lot of viewers and a lot of questions. And when we have fun like that, we really look forward to having fun next week like this too. Not every time we can be laughing, because sometimes we are dealing with topics that are very serious like cancer. But we please share the program with more people so that we can have more interactive conversations, so that we can have new questions that our current regular viewers have not thought of, and I think that will benefit everyone else.
Definitely. Thank you, Sir Sean. Dr. Jansen?
Doc?
Yeah, so thank you everyone for staying with us until 9 p.m.
Wow!
Okay, so it's really very amazing that all of us are supporting this program. Okay, a lot of you have asked, can I eat this? Can I eat that? Okay, so of course, if you are suffering with CKD, you know the foods that would be helpful for you and those that can harm you. So those foods that will harm you, you know them already. We've discussed them already, so please avoid them. Okay. However, for those of you who are still healthy, you are trying to prevent CKD, eating these foods is okay once in a while. Okay, not every day. Okay. Of course, you have to take in. You have to eat everything in moderation as well. Okay. We only live once. Enjoy life. We have to enjoy one way or another, right? So it's okay to eat those foods once in a while, but don't abuse them. So that would be my
parting
message.
Words.
Okay, that would be my parting words for tonight. And see you next week.
Thank you, Dr. Jansen. I'm pretty sure that our guests are also saying thank you to the both of you for answering their questions. And just before we say goodbye, I just want to remind all our VIPs that we have kept on calling these past days to be reminded this coming March 15 is our upcoming VIP meetup with all of you. So see you. This is not going to happen via Facebook, but this is happening via Zoom. Special invitation for all of you. And of course, our regular Thursday webinar this coming March 16 entitled How Does Cancer Colonize Your Colon? March is actually a colon cancer awareness month as well. So please, for those of you who have colon issues, please try to register as early as now and share our webinars to your friends and loved ones soon. Okay? Alright, so thank you so much for your wonderful questions. Here in Simply Nature, we are very looking forward to your success in your health journeys, because here in Simply Nature, we are always with you from start to healing. Thank you, everybody. Good night, and God bless you all.